ecosystem. What do you advise for the angel investors, businessmen, VC members? How do they going to choose the right entrepreneur or right startup project to put on money, to raise money on it?
Well, I think one, just being helpful and actually knowing what you can help with. So I do find some investors, they try to bite on too much and try to help with everything, but just know what your expertise is, and that should be the selling point to the entrepreneur. In terms of meeting other great founders, it's all about, it's about building your network. So YC is very fortunate because we've built that brand over the course of the decade, and we are able to cast a wide net, and we have an application process in which everybody comes to us. But if you're working by yourself, I think the gaps in most of the ecosystem is in the mentorship. And so what I would like to see in Turkey, in India, and China, where it's kind of emerging markets and the ecosystems are starting to build, is founders who've been successful put money back into the system and mentor them, because founders are the best kind of mentors, more so than someone who has ran a big company or has been an investor for their entire lives, because they really know the psychology of building a business.
And let's talk a little bit about the fourth part, the governments.
Yeah.
For example, in Silicon Valley, I asked some entrepreneurs, what are you expecting from the government? And they told me that we don't want their shadow, and it will be enough for us. We don't want anything from the governments. What is the role of the governments to organize this kind of ecosystem in different countries? What is the key roles for the governments?
I think, some governments are actually investing in startups, and I'm not quite sure how they're picking the founders, and I just don't think they have maybe the experience to do so. And so I think the best thing for governments to do is, one, encourage businesses to be more open and to provide platforms. We were just sitting with someone from a bank who's now building APIs for entrepreneurs to build fintech stuff on top of it, and that's great. And I think this is something maybe the government can help convince other companies to do. And the other thing is, if they can help incentivize founders or angel investors to put more money into the system, and I know they're doing that in Turkey, and they're doing that in India and some other places. If they can do more of that, that's good. Instead of them investing in startups, I believe that they should encourage the people that are good with helping startups do that instead.